you so much for the introduction. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks, having you here. So today's session, I will cover automation tools for professionals. And in this, I will be specifically focusing on the virtual CFO function. So there is a specific session on virtual CFO after this, which will cover the functional side. हम लोग क्या है टेक्नोलॉजी में हम लोग दो साइड देखते हैं, एक फंक्शनल और एक टेक्निकल. So functional side in terms of what a virtual CFO is, how you can approach a virtual CFO function. So all that will be covered in the next session. In this session, we focus on the automation tools. Now, just a quick introduction on virtual CFO. So basically, why virtual CFO is required, and I have had the opportunity of working with certain people who are in the virtual CFO trade is that you have all these startups, new businesses getting established, right? Now, even for a small business to afford a full-time CFO, it's difficult, right? But now with the complication in business, कि आपको compliances करने हैं, they have become complicated, IT driven. You need sometimes you want your accounts to be outsourced. So we are working with certain firms to do this outsourced accounting. And then you have financing also, which is not part of automation tools, but there are virtual CFOs who will help you raise money, either through private equity or venture capital or even banks. So virtual CFO basically does all the functions of a regular CFO, but on a part-time basis, he can be remote. That means working from a different city as well. So आजकल क्या है ये geography जो है is not a limitation factor. In fact, हम लोग को अब जिम पे टी-शर्ट में मैं भारतपुर में गया था. But now we do office in gym and t-shirt because visiting clients is no longer a requirement. You can get the entire business done. Now, why do we need automation? So automation का requirement जो है,
in progress.
Sorry for this. So, what are the paradigm shifts which are happening? One is the rapid changes in technology. Now, as a keen follower of technology, I started my career with TCS and I've been throughout involved with technology. So, accounting में the concept of golden rules, debit, credit, that has remained constant. In IT, the concepts are changing every 3 to 5 years. And the pace of change is increasing. So today, as technology professionals, हम लोग के लिए it becomes very, very tough to keep up to date. And this impact comes directly on businesses and on professionals. So अब जैसे income tax का, I'm not into practice, but I've seen income tax का नया portal आया, probably ROC का भी, there have been changes and all of that. So you have to keep up to date with all of that. Then the other aspect, what we see is the new generation coming into business. So today, a child born in the 90s, he comes and joins the business. हम लोग ने अपने बचपन में electricity का shortage, power cut, no telephone, gas connection is difficult. We've seen that era. But this new age businessmen, they have not seen that era. For them, internet was always available. They have always been connected. And they want information on the fly. तो जब आप वर्चुअल सीएफओ का काम करोगे तो उनका एक्सपेक्टेशन भी वैसा रहेगा कि हमारा सब कुछ ऑनलाइन है. वर्चुअल सीएफओ आज नहीं हो रहा है. वर्चुअल सीएफओ एक्चुअली हैज बीन इन vogue for the past 20, 30, even more. Right? हम अकाउंट्स बाहर से करवाते ही थे. CS used to maintain most of accounts. That was a virtual CFO, but it was all manual. Now the expectation is it should be automated. It should be IT driven. The other thing, which again there's a session is AI, ChatGPT. So that is also something which is impacting day-to-day business. It's something which we are using in our business, and we are a very small entity, but we are finding use cases for using these tools in business. Now, how technology change works, I just got a couple of examples and how it can disrupt businesses. So Nokia was the leader, then came BlackBerry, right, about 10, 15 years back. And they disrupted Nokia. And then BlackBerry being the leader, was suddenly thrown out of business by Android and Apple. So it all happened all of a sudden. And there are other examples as well. So today, if you look at this, has been a longer cycle, but cloud, in terms of the music industry, cloud has completely changed everything. So I have about 3,000, 4,000 MP3s on my laptop, but I don't use that because all the music I listen to on the cloud. There's another change. So I've not included that slide, but we've all seen the change with Ola and Uber, right? How taxis and then Meru came, Meru ke baad Ola, Uber. Abhi I'm using an app called Drive. So Uber ने invest किया in creating that entire ecosystem of drivers and cars. InDrive आते हैं, they've come up with a new model where the driver and the car rider they bid. So there is no cancellation. Sometimes the fares are cheaper and the driver earns more. So Uber का जो है पूरा network create किया गया in the last I think 2 months. I'm only using InDrive. So now Uber is getting disrupted by a small app. So that's how technology can change things. Now, as an accountant, this is an article which came out a few days ago. So ChatGPT के बारे में कितने लोग ने सुना है, यूज किया है? A lot of people. So ChatGPT, I don't know if you know, but ChatGPT cleared medical exams, it cleared engineering exams, and they perform better than students. But fortunately, ChatGPT couldn't do better than students or accounting. So we still do have time, but the way things are going, and so I've got a couple of articles and you can search them and read that. So Google का ये algorithm है called AlphaZero, and AlphaZero का जो खासियत है, it's a self-learning algorithm. So in 24 hours, it defeated the best chess algorithm by learning itself. It was not taught; it learned by itself. And same thing for other games. And there's another side to AI, which is AI is getting sentient. In fact, ChatGPT का भी बोल रहे हैं. And what do I mean by sentient means that it has got feelings, right? So it recognizes that I'm a person. I have the right to live. I have the right to survive, and I have to grow. And that stage of AI is where AI will be self-evolving. So today, if you want to ask a legal question, the AI will be able to answer. And if you tried out ChatGPT, I've tried it with tech questions, and ChatGPT gives, amazing answers. So we used the output of ChatGPT in terms of the work we are doing, and I'm sure we can try out with legal questions as well, tax questions, and I think that it will be close to accurate, and this is going to grow at a very fast pace. So the nutshell is that we have to adapt, we have to change. There are 3 big areas which I see which will affect us. One is 5G. Now, 4G revolution जो था, अगर आप देखोगे Swiggy, Instamart, this entire Uber, all this startup revolution, the enabler was 4G. Because 4G के बिना ये सब apps नहीं चल पाते. Swiggy में it would have been too slow. The other is cheap data. So India में data rates are one of the lowest in the world. And 5G is going to change it, where we are looking at a 40 Mbps speed for 4G. 5G, we are talking about 300, 500, 700, 1 Gbps speed. So the kind of impact it's going to have on computing is going to be very, very different. There is another revolution, which is cloud, which has been around for a long time. But cloud adoption is also key for businesses, also for professionals. So today, as a service company, we've adopted the cloud in a number of ways. And the third is AI, which I talked about. And this you will see the impact in the next 3 years, once 5G and AI rolls out for different areas. So how many of you know that AI is now drawing art? It is creating adjingles, right? It is doing creative writing. So हम लोग ने we posted a few blogs which were written by AI, and then we did edits. So it is writing original content. And I have checked for plagiarism. It is all coming out as original content. Now focusing on the virtual CFO function. So there are 4 areas which I'll be talking about today. One is accounting. So in a virtual CFO kind of setup where you are maintaining accounts for third parties, what kind of setup you should have, and what are the benefits or pros and cons of the setup. The other area of a virtual CFO is managing compliances. So GST filing, ROC filings, income tax filings. There could be internal compliances also. जैसे आपको एक MIS बना के देना है by the 3rd of the month, by the 7th of the month. So how do you manage that instead of relying on pen, paper, calendars, Google Calendar? So how you can use these tools? Another area we'll be covering is reporting and MIS. So when you do virtual CFO, you are probably preparing monthly MIS statements. Even in the internal audit function, you can use this. And the last part is document management. So document management, again, you've got Mr. Keval Kishan speaking. So I'm not going to cover, Google Drive and OneDrive in detail, but I'm going to talk about in the context of virtual CFO, document management का कैसे use कर सकते हो, because our client say there will be a lot of information flowing in. Instead of taking that manually on mail and processing it, what kind of automation techniques you can use. So, from an accounting tool perspective, there are two types of tools which are available. One is a cloud-based tool. Jैसे, I think tomorrow, your books will be having an introduction to one of the cloud-based accounting tools. There's another tool called Zoho, which is available. And there are other smaller players as well. On-premise, the biggest name which comes to mind is Tally. And Tally, if we look at it, there is a concept of Tally on cloud. Now, that is actually an on-premise tool which is running on the cloud. इसमें भी दो terms मैं introduce करना चाहता हूँ. One is private cloud and public cloud. So private and public cloud आप लोग पढ़ोगे in lot of different areas. So what is the difference between a private and a public cloud? Public cloud में क्या होता है? जैसे Zoho है. There is one database, there is one application. Everybody is using that. Private cloud में क्या है? आपका cloud में PC है जिसमें आपका application installed है. तो today वो लोग Tally cloud में चला रहे हैं. वो actually एक PC, एक virtual PC लेकर रखे हैं, and इसमें Tally installed है, they are accessing it via the cloud. So that is a private cloud. Public cloud is a shared cloud. Now, public cloud का there are inherent advantages. Private cloud का there are other advantages in terms of security. Public में आपको real time updates मिलेंगे. The organization which is hosting the public cloud will give you backup, security, all of those services inbuilt. The third aspect which you need to consider when you look at a accounting tool for virtual CFO is whether you as well as the client can access it at the same time. अब अगर मैं अपने लैपटॉप में या अपने लैंड के अंदर एक टूल चला रहा हूँ एंड उसमें मेरा अकाउंट्स मेंटेन हो रहा है, so how does the client access? Every time he call up and say, अच्छा मेरा बैंक बैलेंस बताओ, right? Give me this ledger. So that creates more overhead on you. So if you have that, that is very important. And then again, 1st April से जो नया रूल आया audit claim, so you have to look at that aspect as well. Reporting and data exports is another area. When you look at accounting tools, वो जो report आपको चाहिए, वो reports आपको मिल रहे हैं कि नहीं? और secondly, बहुत सारे accounting tools आपको MIS नहीं देते. In fact, with SAP as well, SAP also does not give you a lot of MIS बनाना पड़ता है. तो उस केस में मेरे पास opportunity होना चाहिए for data exports. कि मैं data accounting tool से export कर सकूं in a raw manner and use that to run my MIS. The fifth aspect is automation. So automation में क्या है कि today if you look at accounting tools, एक simple accounting tool में आप data entry करते हो, आप trial balance, ledger ये सब देखते हो. But there are a lot of automation features which are now available in accounting tools. जैसे आपका bank integration. So today when we use certain cloud accounting tools, आपके बैंक से automatically transaction आ जाते हैं. And then to AI understands ये transaction dividend का है, तो automatically classify कर देगा. First time आप manually कर रहे हो, then you can set up rules. तो आपका client का जब आप accounts maintain कर रहे हो, तो bank charges है, dividend है, receipts from customers है, so you can automatically classify transactions. Then you have auto BRS. So I've got a detailed slide where I cover the automation features. And the last point, which may or may not be required depending on the size of the organization, is integration. So integration क्यों चाहिए? Because today we are using multiple apps. तो कभी कभी क्या है, जैसे पेरोल का आपका अलग एप्लीकेशन है, यू वांट टू इंपोर्ट द डेटा राइट फ्रॉम योर पेरोल सिस्टम इनटू योर अकाउंटिंग सिस्टम. So those integration features should be available. So let us look at the automation opportunities for accounting tools. So one is banking integration, which I talked about. The second area is bank reconciliation. So अगर आपका बैंक के साथ integrated है, or even if you are uploading the bank statements via Excel, a lot of the accounting tools give you auto bank reconciliation. It may not be 100%, but at least 90% आपका काम automate हो जाएगा. The third is payment reminders. Now, why payment reminders? Because this is the big pain point for business owners. कि हमको कस्टमर को लेजर्स भेजना है, अकाउंट स्टेटमेंट्स भेजना है, so you should have automated payment reminders. The fourth area is scheduled reports. तो scheduled reports में क्या होता है कि मुझे सेल्स का ओवरव्यू एवरी वीक शेयर करना है, मुझे एजिंग सेल्स टीम को एवरी वीक भेजना है. So why should you run it automatically, manually and share that on emails? I should be able to schedule that. Then recurring vouchers. So recurring vouchers also in a virtual CFO setup. I want to reduce my effort. तो मेरा जैसे rent का payment है, or I have some recurring income which I want to account for. So we should be able to use recurring vouchers. Then expenses. So there is a tool called Zoho Expense, and there are other tools available as well. जहाँ पे एक voucher आप एक invoice upload करो, and through AI it can read and it can classify that expense. So you don't even have to pass the accounting. Then there is another concept called workflows. So workflows is basically today as a virtual CFO, आप कुछ entries pass कर रहे हो, but the client has to approve of those entries. So those can also be set up. And then you have custom fields. Custom fields मतलब आपको reporting के लिए कुछ extra dimensions capture करने. So जैसे for an IT company, they have multiple divisions. Now मेरे को division wise revenue चाहिए. तो उसके लिए मुझे हर एक एंट्री में डिवीजन कैप्चर करना है in terms of expenses and revenue. तो ये मेरे पास अपॉर्चुनिटी होना चाहिए to capture these dimensions, or through custom fields I'm capturing that additional information for reporting. Integration we've already talked about, and then that tool also offers some opportunity for customization. It may not be always required, but customization का जैसे मैं एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ कि मेरे को चाहिए कि मैंने प्रोडक्शन का वाउचर पास किया, उसके बाद क्यूए का अप्रूवल होना चाहिए, प्रोडक्शन का जो क्यूसी अप्रूवल होता है. सो टुडे योर ईआरपी मे नॉट ऑफर, या अकाउंटिंग टूल में वो फीचर नहीं है, बट ये थ्रू कस्टमाइजेशन यू शुड बी एबल टू डेवलप. So I'm going to look at one tool, which is a very popular tool now called Zoho Books. And if you look at this particular tool, and I'll just quickly cover the different areas which are available. So if you look at this reporting tag setup, right? So you can use that for automation of reporting. Then you've got emails, SMS notifications, reminders, and then you've got this automation area where you can set up workflow rules. Workflow matlab approval rules for transactions. And there are a lot of different functions which are there, but in this session I cannot cover all of them. And then there is developer through which you can do customization. Similarly, अगर आप Tally में देखोगे तो all of this is possible in Tally as well, though the approach is a little different. So in accounting, we are looking at these different areas of automation which will help us to reduce our workload. Now, कोई मेरे को बोलता है जैसे कभी क्लाइंट से बात होती है रिगार्डिंग ऑटोमेशन, and जैसे अच्छा ये तो मेरा थोड़ा सा ही काम रिड्यूस करेगा, बट ऑटोमेशन जब आप टारगेट कर रहे हो, एवरी अपॉर्चुनिटी यू शुड टेक. तो टुडे मैं जैसे जीमेल यूज करता हूँ, जीमेल में आई हैव डिफाइंड न्यूमरस फिल्टर्स. सो टुडे इन फिल्टर में सेव मी 2 minutes or 5 minutes daily, or maybe 15 minutes in a week, but cumulatively there is a lot of time saving. So instead of going home at 7 or 8 o'clock, I can go home at 6 o'clock. So that is the difference. The next area which we cover for automation is compliance management. So anybody using a compliance management tool? What?
Compliance
management. Compliance management
tool.
tool. मतलब कोई software for compliance.
There are many softwares which are being used. Like you see for GST, there's a tool called Okta. It automates your reconciliation. So
that is the specific to a particular function. So compliance management का tool मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ, it's basically like a task reminder.
So see a dashboard or what your SKU or something.
we are using like a CRM.
Mhm.
It's a task management come automated billing software which gives you reminders,
Right.
is checking checkout of.
So as a virtual CFO, let's say you're dealing with 50 or 100 clients. अब सबका compliance को track करना, कोई quarterly है, कोई monthly scheme है, किसी के अलग अलग compliance, किसी का labor laws का compliance है, किसी का ROC compliance है. How do you track all of that? And then when you have a big setup, तब आपके team उसको ठीक से execute कर रही है कि नहीं? फिर कुछ scenarios ऐसे आते हैं जैसे one client who I'm not involved with their income tax law work, but उनका क्या assessment हुआ transfer pricing का 3 साल, and they wanted certain working papers नहीं मिल रहे. GST का आपने audit किया, audit के सारे आपके जो trail है, where do you store all of that? It's kept on a laptop, right? Laptop में data उड़ गया, laptop change हो गया, and then when you need the information at the time of departmental audit, you don't get that. So compliance management tool helps you to do all of that. There are various tools available in the market, and I just introduce you to the concept. So इसमें क्या है? I'll take you through a detailed presentation as well. So आप क्या compliance से set up कर सकते हैं? इसमें क्या templates रहते हैं? ROC के compliances, income tax के compliances, GST compliances, other compliances. Then you can select. You can create a plan. Let's say XYZ Limited. अब इसमें मुझे ये compliances चाहिए, उसका calendar already बना हुआ है. And then you can assign कि ये राम करेगा, ये श्याम करेगा, ये रवि करेगा. तो आपने वो सेटअप कर दिया. उसके बाद आपके पास एक ऑटोमेटेड रिमाइंडर भी आएगा, आपको डैशबोर्ड भी मिलेगा. So there is one tool which I should use it. She's a practicing CA, which is called Proactly, and we find that to be really good. Proactly. So that's made by a CA in Mumbai, and it's a very simple tool. And if you Google, you will find so many other tools. In fact, Calcutta said there's a tool called Be Compliant, which was started by a young entrepreneur from here. I think his father is a CA, Mr. Kariwal. So that has become huge. In fact, he's moved to San Francisco now. That's a bit expensive as well, but all of them perform the same functions. So you get this real-time dashboard. You get all your upcoming compliances, not just graphs, but you get the textual, tabular information as well. तो पूरा कैलेंडर मिल जाता है, कौन बनाया, कौन चेक किया, आपको अपलोड प्रूफ. Now this is a big area which we all struggle with. कि आपका जो वर्किंग पेपर्स है, आपने जो रिटर्न फाइल किया, वो कहाँ आप स्टोर कर रहे हो. Right? So this tool can keep track of all of that. And then you have your daily reminders. So आपको mail में alerts will come in terms of escalations, in terms of what is due, what is overdue. So it can help you in managing your virtual CFO practice. In fact, even if you're not doing virtual CFO, even in your regular practice, this is a very useful tool to use. इसका एक pitfall है. Pitfall क्या है? हमको बहुत laziness होता है in terms of setting it up. The first time setup is very, very painful. उसके बाद अपने टीम को डिसिप्लिन में लाना कि वो सब कुछ मेंटेन करे प्रॉपर्ली. That is also a big pain point. So टीम मेहनत का you have to take it as a project. कि शुरू में गलतियां होंगी, कुछ मिस भी होगा, but if you keep at it, then you will become successful. So हम लोग ऐसे एक CRM tool use करते हैं for our leads. पहले क्या था, जब यूज करना शुरू किया, कुछ लीड अपडेट हुआ, कुछ कॉन्वर्सेशन अपडेट हुआ, तो इट वाज वेरी वेरी staggered. But धीरे धीरे करके now we've achieved some 95-98% compliance. So today customer का अगर हिस्ट्री देखना है, तो उसके साथ क्या बातचीत हुआ, we just open the CRM. कुछ याद करने की जरूरत नहीं है. ठीक है, अच्छा क्या बात किया था, क्या डेमो दिखाया था. All that is not needed. So these are all SaaS-based software. These are all SaaS-based. So see, in today's era, I would advise even though the cost looks a little daunting, but SaaS has a lot of benefits over your regular on-premise. SaaS software में क्या है कि the vendor customer tie-in is much stronger. क्योंकि उसको next year का subscription चाहिए. So he has to ensure that quality of service. So SaaS, in fact, all the software companies are looking at the SaaS. And from our perspective as a software practitioner, for us, it ensures that our team stays aligned. बहुत बार क्या होता है सेल्स टीम ने माल बेच दिया बेच के इम्प्लीमेंटेशन टीम ने अपना काम कर दिया उसका भूल गया कस्टमर so we don't want that we want a certain level of service so SaaS ensures a win-win for both the software company as well as the service receiver. So any questions till now? Anybody has? So, what are the benefits you would expect from using a compliance management tool? मैंने pitfall आपको बता दिया, but benefit क्या है? Firm के लिए आपके पास dashboard रहता है, so as the owner or as the partner, you have access to ready information. You don't have to ask, अच्छा तुमने ये किया, then access to past records. कोई client का आपको 3 साल का history चाहिए वो मिल जाएगा. You get your email updates, and you can delegate responsibility. Now, delegation is key because you can confidently delegate. अभी क्या delegation में डर लगता है, करे नहीं करे. For team, उसके लिए benefit क्या है? When he comes to office, he doesn't have to rack his brains. कि आज मुझे क्या करना है? उसके पास एक list available. उसको email भी updates मिल जाता है. Now today, you got an audit manager or your managerial staff. उनके लिए क्या check becomes much easier. So they can check and approve. So your quality of service goes up. And again, when you are executing a virtual CFO function, आपको ensure करना है कि आपका quality बहुत strong है. Otherwise, clients will move up. So this will help you to ensure that. The other aspect is performance management. So I know a few people who are actually using your percentage on-time compliances as a incentive mechanism. कि आपने इतना काम, and these may be companies as well, कि भाई आपने on time ये comply किया, तो आपका ये KRA calculate.
No.
And clients के लिए, of course, you've got your email updates, access past record, and then the confidence and trust that I am engaging with a proper service provider. So when the client sees all of that, his trust and confidence goes up.
Only a client can also access the reports over cloud. Your document management से बता दो. जैसे तो जब बैलेंस शीट आपने कंप्लीट कर ली, साइन बैलेंस शीट है या पूरी डेटा है, client can directly access those data.
Yes. In fact, that's what I'm going to cover. So document management मैं बहुत deeply cover करूँगा because we are going to have a session with Mr. Kedia. But document management जैसे we are using a tool called OneDrive. तो OneDrive में हम लोग के जैसे सारे फोल्डर बने हुए हैं. We've got all your client-wide documents. Then जैसे हम लोग proposals भेजते हैं, तो proposals का हम लोग का एक folder बना हुआ है. So this is shared. ये जब आप ये icon देख रहे हो, that means it's shared. So multiple team members are accessing this. And then what I can do is, so there's a Microsoft product called Power Automate. So get a push notification when a new file is added in OneDrive Business. So apart from file sharing, backup, storage, loading. So basically, every time somebody submits a file in the proposals folder, I get a mobile notification. And there are so many other flows you can create. तो आप जैसे बोल रहे थे ना कि बैलेंस शीट क्लाइंट सबमिट करता है, तो वर्चुअल सीएफओ फंक्शन में क्या होगा, क्लाइंट्स में भी सबमिटिंग लॉट ऑफ डॉक्यूमेंट्स. अब मेरे लिए वो डॉक्यूमेंट्स को ईमेल से निकाल के स्पेसिफिक फोल्डर में डालना, दैट में बिकम अ टास्क. So what I can do is I can use one of these flows. Save outlook.com email access to your OneDrive. Now when I use this flow, तो मेरा inbox पे ये तो उसमें कौन से क्लाइंट ने भेजा, either आप sender ID से आप determine कर सकते हो, or what you can do is you can create virtual IDs. तो हम लोग के मेल में क्या है, कैच ऑल कॉन्सेप्ट बोलते हैं. कैच ऑल में क्या है, आज मेरे डोमेन में आप रवि टू इन्फो टू कॉन्टैक्ट जो भी आप नाम से भेजोगे वो मेल मेरे पास ही आएगा. आई कैन डिफाइन अ कैच ऑल मेल बॉक्स. Now clients, I give them virtual IDs or I can give them forwarding email addresses and I can set up a rule अगर मेल इस मेल बॉक्स में आया तो इस फोल्डर में आप सेव करो. So instead of relying on a person to scan your inbox and save the files, तो फाइल ऑटोमेटिकली चला गया. अब मेल जो चला गया मेरे को उसको एक्शन करना है. I can define a workflow for that. So here I can create a workflow. When a file is added, right, this person should action the file. This person should check and approve the file. तो मेरा पूरा ये डॉक्यूमेंट मैनेजमेंट जो है ऑटोमेट हो सकता है. This is again a Microsoft platform. There is another platform which is popular called Zapier. Yeah.
OneDrive is the problem that you get a to backup. Right? It's a real-time cloud storage. You don't have a backup solution.
So if you need
Personal OneDrive.
so see OneDrive does an auto backup at their end, but ransomware अगर attack हो गया तो sometimes it will corrupt the entire OneDrive. So even your cloud backup gets corrupted. So what I would suggest is there are tools available for online backup. One of the tools which is Acronis. So we use
Acronyms, right? We had when we were using desktop, we had Acronyms. But that 2 to 6 million personal OneDrive
I think Acronis now has a OneDrive backup. So you can check up with them.
the data transfer from cloud to cloud.
Cloud to cloud transfer.
So we have been doing like we have taken a Gmail backup and we are transferring it to OneDrive.
So OneDrive to cloud backup. See, desktop to cloud was always available with Acronis, but there is a solution. Somebody was telling me that now they have a solution for OneDrive backups. So that is probably cloud to cloud.
But the implementing backup sort of things because same. इसमें आप बोले क्लाउड का कुछ रखी है और सर मैं ऑफिस स्टाफ डेविंग फॉर एनी फीचर इज डिलीटेड आते थे मेरे को आपके डेटा जो डेटा है वो कैसे मिलेगा ये डेटा की अपन कॉपी हो रहा है ये डेटा खत्म हो जाएगा तो डेटा को कैसे
तो बैकअप में क्या होता है, there is a retention strategy as well. From grandfather, father, child. So you can set up. जैसे मेरा बैकअप strategy is monthly for 12 months, weekly for 4 weeks, daily for 7 days. तो मेरे पास इस वीक का 7 दिन का बैकअप है, फिर वीकली एवरी मंडे का बैकअप है 4 हफ्ते का, और फिर मंथली बैकअप है गोइंग बैक 12 months. तो when you set up your backup using Acronis, आप ये बैकअप टेक्निक आप set कर सकते हो. So I was talking about Zapier. So Zapier maybe you can do the same thing. You can create something called a Zap, and Zap में again you can do that. कि आपके Google Mail में एक फाइल आया, Google Drive में सेव कर दें. So there are different kinds of apps and there are thousands of combinations which are available. You can explore these two tools on automating a lot of your tasks.
So the other one?
One is Microsoft Flow and the other is Zapier. इसके भी there are numerous platforms which are available. I've just picked up 2 of the popular ones.
Zapier is again SaaS model. Because Power Automate अगर आपको license है और automated domain है
हाँ, right.
Digital integration.
हाँ, integration tool and Zapier is SaaS based.
Power automation is also available on Office 365. Subscription.
There are certain amount of tools which are available for this. So lastly, we'll talk about the MIS automation. And MIS is now a big area for for professionals as well as for businesses. They are looking at MIS and reporting automation. And the driver for that is basically to control the timeline. Today, अगर आपको एक report 2 दिन 4 दिन 6 दिन बाद मिले, so the value of that report goes down. People want online real-time reports. Secondly, report का data reliable. Now, as CA, we've always been taught with time balance not to match. It means when I was under cooling, 1 रुपया का भी difference नहीं होना चाहिए. That was the target. But reporting में क्या है कि accept 98-99% because your decision making is good with a 99% accuracy. The third area is instead of spending time on creating reports, you should be able to spend time on analyzing reports. अगर मेरा 2 दिन का effort जा रहा है, एक CA बैठ के 2 दिन report बना रहा है, then how much time does he spend on analyzing? The fourth is, it is a new area of practice. MIS automation is an area of practice by itself. In fact, we are working with three of the big 10 firms in this particular area. One is already live and 2 others are working with us. And the fifth area is the visual representation. So a lot of people now don't want the typical tabular reports. They want certain graphs to help them look at trends. Even in the tabular reports, they want indicators. So हमारा over budget है तो red हो जाए, 90% है तो yellow हो जाए. So they want that kind of automation KPI indicator. So on the MIS automation, you have to look at these 3 processes: extract, transform, load, or ETL in short. Now, reporting कभी कभी क्या होता है कि आपके अकाउंटिंग डेटा से ही रिपोर्टिंग हो जाए. तो मुझे एजिंग रिपोर्ट बनना है, मुझे आउटस्टैंडिंग रिपोर्ट बनना है, सेल्स रिपोर्ट बनना है. So I can extract the data from the ERP. If I need, I will transform it. I'll load it into my reporting tool and I will prepare my report. But sometimes क्या होता है, बिजनेस को रिपोर्ट चाहिए जहां पे आपका combination of multiple data sources. So let's say for a distribution based business, I am selling to my distributor is selling to the retailer. The distributor to retailer chain is very important for me because that is my actual movement of stock in the market. But that data is not there in my ERP. So मुझे जो ये report चाहिए, I have to combine my secondary sales data and my primary sales from my ERP. और जैसे sales person का target versus actual, another key business requirement. तो वहां पे आपका target का information आपके Excel में, ERP में, you may not have that placeholder. Budget versus actual. So I'll just show you certain formats. So this is this kind of format, right? Now you are not seeing the accounting aspect of this. You are seeing that there is a project called Ravi, there's a project called Mirzapur. You are classifying your spends according to dimensions, and then you have your budget versus actual. Ledgers involved in. अब ledgers का इनका problem क्या है in this kind of a company? I have traveling. But traveling is for set construction, for the actor, for the director. What is important is how much I'm spending on director, how much I'm spending on the actor, how much I'm spending on set construction. So against this budget code, 2001, which is basically set construction, let's say, I have a budget of 20 lakhs, but there are various ledgers. So my budget is actually set at these levels. So I need to capture all of this data, some from my ERP, some from Excel. And then I need to create these filters. So today when you are functioning in MIS automation, आपको ये information extraction का system होना चाहिए, transformation, ताकि मैं data को join करूँ, and then I prepare the reports. So what are the kind of reports which can be done? So ये क्या है, जैसे ये automated dashboard है. So in this dashboard you are seeing the aging, you are seeing the movement of the average receipt days. अब हमको एक point of time में average receipt days दिखता है, which is let's say 35 days for the business. But over a period of 12 months वो कैसे move कर रहा है? Is my business getting better or worse? That you cannot do manually. Otherwise आपको 12 महीना का report निकाल के आपको collect करना. So this only a reporting tool can do for you. So I'm showing you a tool for Microsoft Power BI. So again, the setup of this tool I cannot cover in this workshop, but these are all interactive. So let's say if I click on Karishma Trends, if you see this data will get, or if I click on Royal Fashion, this data gets updated. So these are real-time dashboards. So you can have these dashboards and you can share it with clients. And for the client, the advantage is all MI is available to them. The patch. How do we dump this data? So you'll have to use, it depends on which ERP you are using. you will have to use connector. So in Tally, the problem is Tally has a very different kind of database structure. Then you cannot connect these tools directly. So you have to use an extraction tool, which basically extracts the data from Tally, puts it in a database, and then you can connect these tools. Yeah, we have that integrated list. We have that. In fact, even for Power BI, we've got those tools available where you can connect and you can use that. So what we are seeing now in outsource accounts is, and you know what the big firms are doing, eventually it will percolate down to these smaller firms. That our accounts maintain for your office, but MIS what access to reports हम उनको ऑनलाइन देंगे so that you know client is not dependent कि month end में मुझे दिख रहा है कि क्या हो रहा है during the month उसको भी you know he's getting that information. Sometimes there are processes which you cannot run manually. So जैसे एक software company का startup का let's say you are doing the virtual CFO, which is a big virtual CFO opportunity. Now payroll cost is about 50 to 60% of the startup. Now that payroll cost you have to allocate. कितना bench पे है, कितना allocated है to projects, to divisions. Now how do you do that kind of allocation? So those are also areas which you can automate. So your reporting tool can do that thing, or what you can also do. And I'll just show you a small example, and I'll show you how you can get those resources to help you also. So I've got the sample salary data. Now if you see, you've got client, you've got center of excellence, center process, और ये मेरा पूरा salary का data. अब मुझे allocate करना है. So what we have done is, you know, we got a macro written, which basically does this entire activity automatically. It got automatically done. Now, how do you write macros? You are not a tech company. So I don't know whether you know of this site called Fiverr. So Fiverr is a site which gives you gigs. आपको एक logo design करना है, आपको एक कोई marketing का content लिखना है. तो उसमें जैसे अगर आपको macro लिखवाना है, and macro may not be for this. There are various areas which you can move to automate. आपको client information एक particular format में दे रहा है, तो उसको transform करो. Instead of struggling 4 hours, hire a guy. You may have other sources as well, but from Fiverr you can get someone to do this job for you, and it can be as low as 800 rupees or as high as 16,000 depending on the complexity. So we'll quickly go through some other reporting opportunities for businesses. अब जैसे ये typical MIS report है. So today, if you want to increase your sales, right, you want to track your lost customers. Now, from Tally or any other ERP, you will not get this kind of report. So this tells you for how many days a customer has not done business. There are other reports which you can create. So your stock aging with the last 5 sales of that particular item. मुझे stock निकालना है, greater than 180 days. तो मुझे 2 report को साथ में लेके बैठना पड़ेगा. Stock aging and sales report, and then cross tag. You can get a single report out, share it with them. Where this is your stock, these are the parties you sold to, contact them and liquidate your stock. Then you can have these typical other dashboards. Your expense, monthly expense, right? Variation. So again, this kind of report to prepare it manually every month is difficult. Expense as a percentage of sales. Another very important MIS for a business. Power BI and other reporting tools. So there is a reporting tool we have called Easy Report. So it's a combination of those two. Then we look at the last topic, which is basically a balance sheet P&L automation. Now a lot of clients do ask me, कि schedule भी automate हो सकता है, schedule भी automate नहीं हो सकता है, because there is a lot of textual information and manual classification. But lot of the MIS, the monthly MIS बनता है, that can be automated. And how it is automated? So what we do is, you know, you've got your trial balance. This is your current year, previous year. this is your mapping of your trial balance with your MIS. And then you've got your missing mapping report. इसमें अगर कोई mapping missing है यहाँ पे आ गया. And then you can get your indirect cash flow through the mapping, your balance sheet. So this is all linked to that sheet using formulas. And you can get your schedules. This is a pivot. So this kind of Excel automation can also be done where you have to churn out monthly accounts. So कभी किसी का requirement आता है मेरे 30 branches है. So 30 branches का आपको लंबा करना है. So imagine A में doing that manually, but through this kind of tool it can be. So again, some dashboards, some other reports. So all this is basically new areas of practice which one can look at in looking at these kind of tools. I think I'm now getting.
Now you can continue by the time.
So I'm running out of time, but I think I'll just take 2-3 minutes. Anybody's got any questions? Anything?
You have given insights on what tools are there in the market.